All right, you guys, I'm going to tell more jokes about Jennifer Turgle's kids. Here we go. Just so you guys know, that is actually how we get paid, that clear thing. None of that Venmo stuff. If you send it to the Venmo things there, it's going to go to a girl who can swallow a snake. So that's not us, but the stuff inside, that's all us. We're actually using the money to buy bulletproof vests because we live here. So, wonderful. Just so you guys know, New Orleans is #1. Murder and liver transplants. Thank you. All right, cool. Having fun. Are there any football fans here in the room? Yeah, over here. What about you guys? No? Football fan? No. I'm not a big fan of football. Actually, my friends, their biggest excuse for why they think that I'm gay has nothing to do with the long hair or the peeing sitting down. My friends think that I'm gay because I don't like football. So finally I sat down with my bros and I'm like, hey guys, let me just understand this real quick. You think that I'm gay because I don't like to get together with men, go to bars that are filled with men. All those men are looking at TV screens of men. The men in those TV screens are grabbing other men in an attempt to get their balls. Cool, all right. I don't watch a lot of football. I've heard a few things. I've heard penetrating deep into the tight end. I've heard looking for a wide receiver. Found a fullback. To my understanding, there are teams like the Packers and the Rams and the Bears. That's what I know so far. We're good here? Okay, cool. Now, if that is not heterosexual enough for you, you can enjoy this sport in the comfort of your home. A new version, nice, easy, accessible, called fantasy. Fantasy football. But if you want to play fantasy football, you got to know a lot more about those men. Oh my God. How tall is he? How much does he weigh? What's his favorite position? What schools did he go to? How is he feeling emotionally and, more importantly, physically? Because that's where I'm going to be affecting like where I put him in my lineup. Is he like top or like bottom? You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't like football. Excuse me. I'm the gay guy watching women's beach volleyball because it's 2 hours of beautiful women doing this with sand. While my bros are watching the fucking equestrian, whatever that category is, and I'm like, why would you watch a dude on top of another dude with a dick bigger than his? That's what Pornhub is for, guys. Come on. Another sport I do not understand. Boxing, right? Are there any boxing fans here? Okay, two guys who have never said anything about either their person's mother are united by a ring. They show up shirtless, wearing underwear and very tall boots. These men are obsessed with their weight. Good Lord! We have to watch them get weighed in. It's ridiculous. Right? What are they fighting over, guys? A purse and a belt. The bigger the purse, the longer they're gonna go. Is it 3 rounds or is it 9? Whenever they get tired, they just find a nice comfy corner and hug. For as long as they can until another man has the audacity to come between them. Did I just ruin boxing and football for everybody here? Cool. You guys can watch women's beach volleyball with me because fucking Brazil, am I right? Sweet. I don't know. I'm not a really big fan of like holidays. I'm like the Grinch, except I work year round. Like I don't really enjoy New Year's Eve. Anyone else here like not big on New Year's Eve? Or as we call it in New Orleans, firework or firearm? It's a fun game for the whole family. You look up, you don't see colors, get on the ground! Get on the ground! Just wait it out. Just wait it out. Grab a pillow, it's gonna be a long night. Am I right? Sweet. Speaking of New Orleans safety, you guys know about LaToya Cantrell? She's our mayor. She's so sweet. Everyone loves her. You can tell everyone loves her because they put big signs in front of their yard saying how much they love Latoya Cantrell. Fun fact, I'm not really big on current events, but apparently she had an affair with a cop. She heard one of her friends say, "Fuck the police," and she was like, "All right, whatever. I'll try it." Just so you know, that's not a racial joke, that's a facial joke. That bitch is ugly as fuck. All right. She really is. Oh, man. A lot of people, you work for her? You work for her? Someone works for her? You work for Latoya Cantrell?
I know people that
Stay away, because she's fucking everybody. Be careful. Oh, man. Anyone here, like, not big fans of cops? Anyone here just like, I don't like the police? All right. Could you guys just give me your address real quick? I'm keeping a list of everyone who hates cops. Because if I'm ever down and out, I'll just fucking rob you. Don't be a hypocrite. Don't, because who are you going to call? Nobody. Just stay there and take it. All right, we're good. Now look, public service announcement. I'm not losing you here. Quiet down. I'm like a third grade substitute teacher here. I'll start when you stop. Never ever complain when you see 6 cops pulling over one car. Because that's 5 cops that are not fucking with you. Let the hyenas feed and run, gazelle. Run. Go about your way. Leave them be. We need a sacrificial lamb. It's all right. Now, I just want to tell you, as a minority, I'm Hispanic, but all New Orleans people know as Honduras or Kenner. No, Puerto Rican from New York. I know Jennifer Lopez and John Leguizamo. We all hang out together all the time. It's required by law, actually. But as a minority, I got to tell you, racial profiling is wrong. I think racial profiling is horrible because not all minorities with expensive cars sell drugs. Some of us stole the car. You know what I mean? Like, selling drugs is complicated, especially in New Orleans. Too much competition. Can't get a small business loan anymore. It's ridiculous. Everyone's doing it. Oh, so ridiculous. I remember when I was like, for my visitors here, where are my visitors? I need to hear you. Visitors. From your perspective, here's how it was when I was visiting New Orleans. First of all, I realized very quickly that New Orleans only has 3 seasons. 3 seasons. Too hot to go anywhere, too cold to do anything, and Mardi Gras, baby. That's all they got, right? You have a little bit of mixture of both right now. It's fucking 54 degrees. Canada guy's like, I swam earlier today. Fuck you. All right. I will tell you this is a true story. Visiting New Orleans, most of what I knew about New Orleans was from the vampire movies and The Water Boy. Okay? That's all I knew. Don't lie, most of you, that's the only education you got. So when I was in the Bywater area, anybody been in the Bywater yet? Okay, I genuinely thought that a lot of people in New Orleans were vampires. And traveling in the Bywater did not help. First of all, nothing in the Bywater is open when the sun is out. Second of all, everyone I saw, no one ever ate. They drank, but no one ever ate. Third, everyone wore all black all the time. Like this guy right here, this one over here. All black all the time. Fourth, I would talk to people, 5 of them lived in a 1-bedroom. That's some vampire shit right there. And the last thing that made me honestly believe that New Orleans was inhabited by vampires, none of the bathrooms had mirrors. Like none. They're just like, what's the point? It's the woods. Let's not give an illusion. I realize now that a lot of the bathrooms don't have mirrors, and that's their way of reducing the cocaine usage. You know what I mean? Because people are just like, okay, I just lost most of it. True story, real quick on the side here. DARE, everybody remember DARE? What does it stand for? Come on, 1, 2, 3. Wow, 2 people got that right. She said drugs against retarded individuals. All right. Growing up, I had a DARE t-shirt. I did not have the words underneath because I got it from the Goodwill. I grew up thinking that DARE stood for drugs are really expensive. In a single parent family, you know what I'm talking about, Hispanic people right there. In a single parent family, that was reason enough never to get involved. My mom was like, drugs are for rich kids whose parents don't love them but have enough money to give them something instead of a hug. You know what I mean? That's the conversation we had. She's like, but be friends with those people. Because if your friends have drugs, they have rich parents. It's a true story. Also, when I visited here, where are my visitors at? One more time, I gotta hear you. Visiting here, I get out of the car. I'm only 2 blocks in. 2 blocks into the French Quarter, this guy comes up to me, compliments my shoes. What? You trying to fuck? Whatever, okay. Compliments my shoes, then like a psychic, told me where I got my shoes. Incredible. Now, as an added touch, I was visiting, but to make me feel like I already lived here, he stole my shoes from me. Incredible. I'm like, I only packed 1 pair, but it's all right. Most of my female friends end up barefooted anyway. It's just early in the night for me. I wish I was joking about that. All right. I was also really confused. I knew that this was a very crazy city because in the CBD, it's still there now. I saw a billboard, a little bit confusing. A billboard that said, "Learn to read." What the fuck is that sign for? I understand it's to promote literacy. Look for it. Central Business District, right by the library, you know, where people sleep. Anyway, if you know what that sign says, you don't need it. And if you don't know what it says, it's a fucking waste of ink. Am I right?
Yeah.
All right, go look for that sign, take a picture. Go ahead and tag me on that photo right quick. Also coming here, like I've got a little bit of ink, but mostly I only have a tattoo, not because I'm a badass, but because I want any potential like muggers to know that I have a high pain threshold. You know what I mean? But I realized that a lot of people, especially young people in New Orleans, had tattoos, and I realized why. Because they want to spend their money on something their roommate can't steal while they're sleeping. You know what I mean? Is that my cell phone charger? Is that my boyfriend? What the fuck, Bridget? We're good. I'm good. I'm funny. Thank you. When I first came out to New Orleans, you guys notice all the bikes tonight? A ton of bikes, right? So when I first came to New Orleans, I'm like, oh my god, these people are so environmentally conscientious, right? Like, wow, a lot of people have bikes out here. But now that I've lived in New Orleans, I'm like, wow, a lot of people have DUIs out here. You don't give a fuck about the environment. It's $2,700 for you to get a license. So, and that's like 11 stolen bikes. You know what I mean? I wasn't here that long, and then I had my bike stolen. I tried venting about it to a friend at a coffee shop, and they're like, just a bike? I've been mugged at gunpoint twice. I'm like, I'm sorry, excuse me. So now, I like my bikes like I like my women. So ugly, I don't have to worry about anyone taking them. You know what I mean? Like, I can leave them outside, no lock whatsoever. It's fine. I'll get back out there. She's still there, you know? And you know what else? No one messes with the all white ones. They just leave them right where they are, you know? Because they assume that they're dead. Anyway, that's a bike joke and a cultural joke. I can say that joke. I had white friends and white exes and a white stolen bike. Let me know if you see it. All right, we're good. Then I moved here. And when I was apartment shopping, you guys might have seen the signs already. When I was apartment shopping, the lady told me, hey, just so you know, this 2-bedroom is actually only $11.50. Market rate is $14.50. It's $11.50 because people have reported it as being haunted. Dude, do you understand? That means that I have a dead roommate that pays their portion of the rent every fucking month. That's incredible. You guys ever had a roommate in New Orleans? They're never reliable. $300 they're paying me? It's a bargain. Also moving here, the city is very, very nice. I pulled up in a U-Haul truck. 3 people offered to unload the truck for me. You know, it's so nice. And the weird thing is, first they didn't ask for money. They didn't even ask what my address was. They were just like, we got this, we got this. Is it that open door over there? You just got here? Is it just you? Cool, we're just taking notes. No, we'll get it up there for you. That is true, actually. Just saw me struggling, gave them $100 each, and then got a new lock on the door. We're good, we're having fun. Now look, you guys, wording is really important, okay? I lived here now just about 4 months. I moved to Tremay. Anybody know the Tremay area? I lived on Governor Nichols and Marai. Lectured me about how to pronounce Marai. I don't give a fuck. Anyway, I lived over there. I saw one of my neighbors in a coffee shop. Okay? And they said, hey, just so you know, you should probably wait a little while until you go back to the apartment building. The police have it blocked off because they've been shooting out there for the last few hours. What they meant to say was filming. They've been filming out there for the last few hours. So I just decided to move. Probably best for both of us, especially since my neighbors obviously wanted me to leave because of their word choice. This is also a true story. I know between all this, I look like I either buy or sell drugs. I don't. I'm not narking on anybody. But this is a true story that happened. So I live in Tremay. If you guys don't know, Tremay is just outside the border. So you go to Governor Nichols, go over a few blocks, that's where I lived. I'm coming home at about 1:30 in the morning. This guy, I don't know him, he comes up to me and he's like, hey, do you party? Now, I don't do drugs, so I was just like, yeah, of course I party. That's why I live so close to the border. I'm just coming home from the club now. He's like, oh, cool. You want some party favors? I'm like, I usually don't decorate. Are you like selling streamers or something out of the trunk of your car? He's like, no, man. No, I got weed. I got the best weed. Now here's two issues I have with that story. One, if you have the best weed, I feel like you have like a call center, you know, like you're just making money hand over fist. People just want to know how to get to that amazing weed. Second, if you have the best weed, I don't know why you'd be selling it to me at 1:30 in the morning outside of a church across the street from a patrolling cop. This happened. So I said to the guy, out of concern for him, right? Because obviously he wasn't the same DARE graduate I was. I said, hey man, how are you going to try and sell me weed when there's a cop right there? He looks back at the cop, looks at me, and says, I already asked him, but they drug test now. Once he got the badge, he don't buy. This is a few months into living in New Orleans, guys. Some of you aren't laughing because you live here and you're like, yeah, of course. You know, that's why the cops are so much meaner now. Anyway, circling back. Thanks. But I mean, the South is really, really nice. So I was born and raised in New York. I lived in Florida, but I moved here. And I know the South is so nice because my neighbors go out of their way to check my mail for me. I haven't even left town. They just want to make sure that someone's enjoying my package. You know what I mean? They just wanted, all right. But like I said, word choice is really important. I'm going to finish off with two things. 2 words of advice about communication. First, ladies. Why do you do this thing? We're having sex, and you're like, deeper. It's like, it's a dick, it's not the Star Wars franchise. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, you thought you saw all the dick? I have a tattoo halfway down, this is to be continued. Most women don't even notice it. As a man, I would never have sex with a girl and be like, shallower. I want to hit a wall. Does it ever end? How many kids have you had? I would never do that. It doesn't get any more shallow when you meet on Tinder. You know what I mean? And finally, be careful what you say in the bedroom. Be careful. What you say isn't what they hear. Here's a perfect example. I'm laying in bed with my lady, in case you guys are still confused after 15 minutes. Anyway, I'm laying in bed with my lady, and she whispers to me. First of all, why the fuck are you whispering? It's not a library. Is there a camera? What's going on? Anyway, she whispers to me, she says, I want you to make me feel violated. Did you guys hear all that? I want you to make me feel violated. So I did what I thought any man would do. I tied her hands to the headboard. I tie her feet to the footboard. I put a gag in her mouth, and then I look through her cell phone. We should have discussed it before the gag went in the mouth. I didn't know what 50 Shades of Grey was. I thought it was porn for the elderly, because it makes sense. 50 Shades of Grey. You guys have been great. Thank you so much. Woo!
That's indeed, Mr. Anthony. Give it up one more time for the man. Yes, indeed. Oh, my.